Welcome to Titans of Terror, where we look at the men and women who have shaped the horror landscape. Today's victim, or subject, actress Madeline Smith. Madeline Smith was born August 2nd, 1949, in Hartfield, Sussex, England. Her father owned an antique shop and painting restoration business, while her mother was a Swiss translator. Madeline was reared with a convent school education in Ealing. Madeline lived in Washington Village in County Durham in the early 50s, where she ran the Village Drama Group. As a teen, Madeline worked at a London fashion boutique called Biba. She was spotted and signed with the Lucy Clayton modeling agency, and they took her on for 18 months. In the late 1960s and into the early 70s, Madeline was regularly featured in the work of disc cartoonist J. Edward Oliver, who on one occasion devoted an entire strip to her entitled The Life and Habits of the Madeline Smith. In the meantime, Madeline had answered an ad in the stage newspaper and auditioned for a film and got it. Off of that, she got an acting agent, and those two careers ran parallel until she was persuaded to act full-time. Madeline's first film was 1968's Escalation, an Italian comedy where she played an uncredited girl on a bicycle. Her next role would be her first official film appearance, the 1967 romantic comedy The Mini Affair, about a pop star being kidnapped by a quartet of mod princesses. A few more comedies followed. Madeline first worked for Hammer Films with a supporting role in their fifth Dracula installment, 1970's Taste the Blood of Dracula. The plot concerns three English gentlemen unwittingly resurrecting Count Dracula, who seeks to avenge his servant. Maddie, as she was billed here, plays a lady of ill repute. Her next film was the Hammer AIP vampire film in 1970's The Vampire Lovers, starring Ingrid Pitt as the seductive vampire Carmilla, targeting the beautiful and the rich in a remote area of late 18th century Germany. Madeline plays the love interest of Carmilla. AllMovie wrote, "The Vampire Lovers pushes the bloodshed and bosoms formula of the Hammer hits to its limit." Also in 1970, Madeline appeared in AIP's folk horror Tam Lin, aka The Devil's Widow, based on a Scottish folk song. The film focuses on an older woman using witchcraft to keep her young jet-set friends. The next year, Madeline returned to comedy when she appeared in Up Pompeii, a Roman Empire sex farce that became the 10th most popular film at the British box office that year. Madeline's favorite role, however, was working with Arthur Lowe on the 1971 TV show Doctor at Large, in which she played his daughter. In 1972, Madeline appeared in Carry On Matron, the 23rd film in the long-running film series, as Mrs. Pullet. She also portrayed a music hall performer in the 1972 family mystery film The Amazing Mr. Blunden. In 1973, Madeline returned to horror with a supporting role in Theater of Blood, a dark comedy horror starring Vincent Price and Diana Rigg. The film tells the tale of an actor exacting vengeance against the critics who failed to acclaim his genius, killing them one by one in ways very similar to murder scenes in the season of William Shakespeare's plays that he last performed. Price and Rigg both consider this film to be their favorite. The same year, Madeline portrayed an Italian agent whose blue dress zipper meets its match in James Bond's magnetic watch in Live and Let Die. She was recommended for the part by 007 actor himself, Roger Moore, after he had appeared with her on the Persuaders TV show. She said that Moore was polite and pleasant to work with, but she felt very uncomfortable being clad in only blue bikini panties while Moore's wife was on set overseeing the scene. In 1974, Madeline returned to work with Hammer Films one more time on Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, which ended up being their seventh and final Frankenstein film. The film stars Peter Cushing as the Mad Doctor, this time working in an insane asylum as a surgeon continuing his gruesome experiments. Madeline plays a beautiful mute girl who assists the doctor by stitching up the monster. And this is her favorite of her three Hammer films. Madeline also lent her voice to the English dub of 1974's The Three Musketeers animated film, where she performed the character of Constance. That same year, Madeline took on various roles in the British comedy series The End of the Pier Show, which was produced with a backdrop style supposedly taken from a Victorian child's paper theater. All of the backdrops looked like line drawings, and each program was supposedly written by the cast within a week. It was also the first TV program to mix cartoons with a live-action performance. In 1975, Madeline married fellow actor David Buck, who co-starred with her in the TV show Crown Court. In 1978, Madeline reteamed with the End of the Pier Show group and made a science fiction fantasy television show called In the Looking Glass, where the hero walked into a looking glass and found himself in a different world each week. It was lauded for having imaginative backdrops and an excellent narrative. Madeline also portrayed the character of Molly on stage in Agatha Christie's Mousetrap. Madeline continued appearing on television, most notably All Creatures Great and Small and Eureka, up until the mid-80s, when she took a hiatus to raise her daughter Emily. Madeline's husband David Buck would pass away in 1989 of cancer. In 2009, a vintage picture of Madeline graced the cover of Hammer Glamour, a book by Hammer historian Marcus Hearn that celebrates 2 decades of gorgeous Hammer ladies. Madeline returned to acting in 2011 when she appeared on the British soap opera Doctors in an episode called Whip Hand. In 2020, Madeline starred in a short film called Crazy Bitch Blues, about 2 embittered sisters fighting over the belongings of their dead mother, and they are willing to do whatever it takes to get what they think is rightfully theirs. Madeline's most recent appearance was in the TV movie remake of The Amazing Mr. Blunden in 2021, where she plays a different role named Geraldine. Madeline Smith will always be remembered as a shapely, dark-haired, buxom actress who appeared in a number of sensual film and TV roles that showcased her beauty. Whether she is frightening or making you laugh hysterically, Madeline always entertains, thus making her a true titan of terror.